And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. There you see the starters defensively for Jacksonville. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave them a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
And he'll be down deep into Jacksonville territory. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position?
Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Darnold. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll try and run forward with Penny. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Flushed under pressure. Down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Joey Bosa in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Darnold. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Mario Edwards. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the start? What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
Get some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, Rosen. He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of the game for Crabtree. It's a 1st down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Here we go now. 3, 9, 5.
Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up.
They've got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They go play action here on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And he'll let it fly in the direction again. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Rosen. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
All right, here we go.
They want to go to the air again with Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And his kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The big fella, 20. And it's a Jacksonville touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here we go.
Faking the give, Darnold. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Joey Bosa. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Darnold. And he finds a man with a crossing route. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first...
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And he is out of bounds here on the return. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards.
Green, 39.
Now Rosen on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Coleman now. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. Finding some room at midfield. He's at the 30. And they will finally get him down, and now penalty flags coming in as well. And they might get half the distance here to boot.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They will run again with Coleman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go now.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now it's Darnold. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's the backup, Jacoby Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mario Edwards in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes over the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Rosen to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Chargers getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Brissett, the backup, his first throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Let's go! Ohio!
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. The 20. And he'll be down deep into Jacksonville territory. A big play there for L.A. 58 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
Here's Brissett. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
They go play action with Brissett. That's caught. It's Thomas. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Again, it's Brissett. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll start out here with the option left. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Now Rosen to throw on second down. Caught left side to Crabtree. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and just like that, it's third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Now let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
On second down, Darnold. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Barney.
Play action. It's Darnold. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
Detroit!
Well, there's your
Detroit!
leading receiver in the
Detroit!
NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 42 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To the air again, Darnold. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. The Chargers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Under 10! Under 10! 10!
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Gun! Over!
A play fake, and it's Darnold. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. Oh, and now he bowls him over. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this.
All right, here we go. 3, 9.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Now let's go.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah.